They're not driven by emotion. They're very rational based decisions. I weigh the pros, I weigh the cons, I look at the facts. So you very rarely, if ever, and I could probably say I've never heard a US president yell. Or somebody who's competing is somebody who's capable of kind of debating with you, but
read all of these books that had the tips, tactics, and tricks to fake it. But it wasn't until I genuinely believed that I was high value, that I had real success. And so it left me with this feeling that you can read all the tips, the tricks, the eye contact, the body language, but maybe none of it works because there's 1,000 other non-verbal micro expressions that are communicating you're low value, you don't believe in yourself, you're not worthy, that overpower that we can't really control. And the reason it changed at 24, 25, 26, 27 is because I genuinely felt like I was good enough for them. So, this is why I reflect on this idea of I know people will click podcasts like this because they want the tips, the tricks. They want to get from A to Z in 3 seconds.
No.
They want to get from low confidence, low self-esteem, all that, to at the altar with a king. And they want to do it. They want to know how to do it in the space of this conversation so that they can end this conversation and walk down the aisle tomorrow with their Prince Charming. That's what people want. They want to solve complex things with short, simple solutions.
Doesn't exist.
I know this because I know that if I title this if you title a podcast "Six-Pack Abs in 7 Minutes," people are going to go, no. But if you titled it "Six-Pack Abs in 3 years of work and diet restriction," fucking no one's going to click. And it's the same thing for here and now. And I'm often wondering, how does someone change the core of themselves, whether it's as a leader, a manager, in a relationship, that very core of you? Because in my life, it was actually just this long, grueling process of building myself. It was at the retiring from caring so much about actually getting any of these people and just building up this real internal fortress. And then everything else took care of the body language, the eye contact, the way I walk into a room. It all took care of itself. And, but it doesn't sell books that. There's no one's going to buy that book.
You know what, though? It is all the little things we do that help us get there. There's no magic thing. That's why you're like, it took me time. And what it was is all the little things along the lines that came. There's no magic thing. People sometimes come to me, they're like, what's the secret? And I tell them, there's no secret. The change that you want in your life, it's all the little things that you do. It's think of it like compound interest, right? I do this, and then I add this layer, and then this layer, and then this layer, and then this layer. It's like the sheets of paper. You put 1 sheet, it's light. 2 sheets are light. 3 sheets. You put 1,000 sheets. Now you've got weight. That's how we are. We're layers, and we have to add to those layers. There's no quick thing. When you're going to get there? When you're sovereign. When you feel like, I don't need anybody. It's wonderful to have human beings around me, and I think connection it's wonderful. But if your goal is, I need someone to complete me, you're done. And I think also, it's so wild because I'm thinking about my youth as you're talking about yours. When I became sovereign, where I'm I'm good enough. I'm good as I am.
You become a magnet.
I became a magnet. People are like, well, I wanted that. I want to be around that. I want to be around her. Everywhere. People are like, how do you? It's because I believe in me. But it took time to believe in me.
And when you became sovereign,
yes, everyone's like.
But how did your behavior change? Those micro behaviors.
I stopped chasing things and chasing people.
Yeah.
I stopped looking for approval. I stopped trying to people please. Right? And I trusted myself. You want to strengthen your voice. You don't want to be like, okay, you can't go into this room. You can't go into this room. It's like, you can't go into this room. You also have to believe in what you're saying and why you're saying. So when I did my previous job, I was protecting the President of the United States. I had the backing of the U.S. Secret Service. And look, having that gives you confidence. But I also went through training academies, and I had people get in my face. I had to deal with things. But the more adversity you deal with, the more resilient you become. When you don't deal with adversity, when you avoid conflict, you don't know what to do when real conflict shows up. Repetition and creating habits that are healthy so that when things happen, you default to those habits. And you pull up that version of you. So I have that version of me that's the stand your ground version. It's like, oh, no, no, no. But I'm also tactical about it. So if somebody can come at me or do something or betray me, I'm not going to come at them with the most obvious of ways. I'm also not going to do anything that brings me lower.